graciosas crianças cantavam Hosana, Hosana com amor. Glória, honra e louvor a vós, ó Cristo, Rei Redentor.
All right, we are in the colorful city of Praia in Cape Verde still, different island. And in the town square, it is Palm Sunday, big procession of people headed to church. And in the meantime, I'm gonna walk around the square and try to give everybody a sense of what's going on here. And the thing I think I mentioned before about Creole, say a mixing of cultures, is for me something like the cultural evolution equivalent to variation as part of natural selection. Without the variation, you don't get change, and so you've got a tendency, hopefully, to try new things, to put different stuff together. What if we put some of this with some of that? And the conservative side is the natural selection. Some things work better than others. So just because you slam any two things together doesn't mean they're going to be the best that you could hope to come up with. So in those cases, maybe do something that's hang on to what you got until you find something better. So the conservatism and the liberalism are kind of both necessary. That's the social stuff in the things I was talking about that have to do with how the broads interact with the travel, how the social world interacts with the real world, so to speak, the hard sciences. And like I said, it's pretty empty today, but only because it's Sunday morning and everyone's over here at church, which I'll show you in just a second. And yeah, so it's interesting to me as kind of a Creole thing how all this stuff fits together. And there's a lot of I guess what I'm trying to say is there's people like me who want to try to figure out how everything fits together as some kind of giant puzzle. And it's arguably a useless activity, but it's when you see all these things and marvel at any one in particular, for me there's always a little extra something to be said about how they all fit together as well. So there's some of the people, the rest have gone inside, and you can hear them all singing now. And I'm one of the only people here who didn't know the song. And this is, if I haven't said it already, this is Palm Sunday. So for the devout among us, this is something approaching the miraculous. So I'll shut up and leave it to the faithful for now. Say it all again, please.
Okay, Mark, you can turn around every now and then. We went all the way around the park looking for it, but we saw you filming the whole time. And now we caught up, so here we are.
Everybody, this is Paul. He gave me a couple of tips yesterday on guitar, and I'm very appreciative.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay.
See ya. here, a remnant of the past you see way out on that distant rock or whatever, plateau. That's an old leper colony. There used to be leprosy in this part of the world and places to isolate people who had it. So if you had leprosy, that's where you would have hung out here. This is the city of Praia. Part of it anyway. And then you can see it goes off quite a ways. The capital, I believe that's what I was told. More of that history or fake history that I was espousing yesterday. And then right over here, it even says as much. There's the name of the town, cruise ship in the distance. All right, there's a bit more of a close-up. This is the leper colony I mentioned. It's about as close as I can get without someone getting upset, because I'm way back here. But it's not unlike, it's like an early version of, say, the kind of quarantine we would have done during COVID. And it's a damn good idea. People came up with this in Italy. The Italians first started quarantining people, and that's what's left of it. So I'm going to assume that means there are no lepers left. All right, after a rather long walk, we are along a very small but beautiful beach, headed to have lunch in just a minute. You can see that the travel that I'm engaged in is very difficult. Trying sometimes, one has to decide what to eat. And yeah, I just thought a little photo of this would give you some sense of it. I've been told not to go into leper colonies for fear that I might somehow contract leftover leprosy, but I think that's a little misguided. Anywho, here is one of the quaint old lighthouses, keeping folks from the rock. It's pretty rocky shores here. It's very shallow, and then suddenly, boom, you're at a rock face. So yeah. So in case you're bringing some kind of ship into the area, please be careful. It's kind of hard to believe that any place like this could have any disease or whatever to speak of. Especially on Palm Sunday. And I'm going to see if I can get a little more of a little better picture of the restaurant from that side. And yep. So yeah, I guess that's about it. You know, there's good stuff from people interacting, like beaches and restaurants here on the water, and there's diseases where we contaminate one another, and I'm hoping that things like COVID or leprosy or Ebola or something will cause us to sort of work together and cut all the nonsense. Thinking that people in other countries aren't people. All right. So, from what I've heard, you get something like 1 million minutes. And obviously that's an average. And the question is, how are you going to spend them? How are you going to spend those 1 million minutes knowing that there's no way to re-up, no way to get more? And the folks I've seen today, they're out swimming, playing, enjoying themselves. And of course, everyone can't do that. We need to have things made, and goods and services and all the stuff that make for a global economy. But to the extent you can, and I've been talking to people who retired at a ridiculously early age, which I, of course, envy. It's just, it's just a question of how to spend that time. And the folks here, I got to say, at least the ones I've seen, they seem to have a good sense of how that time ought to be spent. And I can't say that I can come up with anything that has to do with a Protestant work ethic that could counter that, beat it. So for now, I'll say that that seems as legitimate to me for how to spend those million minutes as anything I've seen to date. Have fun, enjoy yourself. See ya.
The blue on the bottom is the sea. The red in the middle is their liberty. The 10 stars are the 10 islands of Cabo Verde, Cape Verde. So that's what the flag is about.
You heard it here, folks. Do
Okay,
it.
good idea. Yeah.
One final overview. Here's the what's left of the lepers colony. The last of the lepers, I believe, having been taken elsewhere. Let's see what we got here. Another famous statue to a famous someone or another. The beautiful flag of Cape Verde, part of the European Union since 1975 when they got their independence. And just a beautiful place to come hang out. The Dragon Ocean. All right. Cannon pointed right at our ship, which I'm sort of worried about. In any case, see y'all later.